Might start going to Adrenaline Alley on my scooter. My husband just gave me a weird look because I went through and got this. Because I couldn't do it. I did my last one of these and didn't wear a different piece of headgear or eyewear. So this is my son's scooter helmet. It's quite comfy actually, quite sturdy. Dave, we're going to have to say bye. This is the last one. We're going to have to talk about exchange rates for the last one, which isn't the best, is it? But say bye for now. Bye. Bye, everybody. Anyway, yeah, I'll shut up. Right, exchange rates. If you are really unsure about this, there's loads of help on YouTube from other people as well. But basically, exchange rates are the value of one currency in terms of another one. So if I want to go to America and I want to spend money, obviously I can't spend pounds because they don't take pounds. So I will have to buy some dollars. And one day I might take my little pound in and get $1.10 for my pound, and the next day I might take my pound in and get $1.20 for my pound. So exchange rates do vary, they change, and it depends on lots of things going on that we don't need to worry about too much for GCSE business. But for the purposes of what you need to understand, it's what is the effect on businesses. So a strong pound means that if I go in and I've got my pound, that means I can buy more of the foreign currency with my pound. So I might be able to buy $1.20. A weak pound means that I'll only be able to buy $1.10 worth for my pound. So let's go on to Spiced, because this is a good way of remembering it if you're struggling a bit. I don't want to read that through. Remember Spiced that we looked at? Stronger pound imports cheaper. So I go in, I can buy with my pound more. So it's cheaper for products to come into the country. It's cheaper to buy things that are coming into the country. So if I'm manufacturing cars and I need to buy parts from abroad, I'm going to take that off now. I've forgotten I was wearing it. It's so comfy. If I want to buy parts from abroad, if I need to buy parts from abroad and the pound is strong, it means I can buy more for my money from abroad. However, I put those parts into my car. When I want to export my car again to another country, if the pound is strong, that means my car is going to be expensive for people in that other country to buy. If you look at it the other way round, the weaker pound, which means I can get less of the foreign currency for my money, means that imports are going to go up. So after Brexit, when the value of the pound dropped, it's become more expensive for us to buy things like pasta from Italy because imports have become more expensive or dearer. However, it's been good with a weaker pound for British manufacturers who are exporting abroad. It's been good for them because the pound is weak, so it is cheaper for foreign people in those foreign parts to buy our products. So try and remember that Spiced, and that helps. Strong pound, imports cheaper, export dearer, and the other way around. Weaker pound, imports dearer, exports cheaper. A little bit more on that is that you've got your winners and losers on this chart, which I think I've pretty much done. And I think pretty much every business is affected by exchange rates because many businesses are buying from abroad, buying goods and services from abroad, and if not, your competition might be. So if the competition can buy goods more cheaply than you from abroad, then it might then more competitive and you might lose market share. If they can't buy the goods and services from abroad because the exchange rate's gone up, they might be buying from the same suppliers as you, and that might put the prices up in this country. Try and get your head around it, spend a bit of time on it, thinking about it. Talk to me if you're really struggling. And then the last part of this is, what are the benefits of locating abroad, which I think most people get okay. But the benefits are that we can, it's lower labour costs, cheaper land, cheaper site prices. You avoid trade barriers in case the governments are trying to protect companies in that country. They might put a tariff on your product if you export it into that country. However, if you produce it there, you won't pay the tariffs. Some governments give incentives to set up businesses in their country, and there are some very fast-growing economies that you might want to take advantage of. For example, the BRIC countries, as they're called: Brazil, Russia, India, China. There's also, I think they're called, they begin with an N, I can't remember, but it's Nigeria, and some other countries, I think it's Indonesia, Turkey. I can't remember what the acronym is for that. Anyway, you don't need that for the GCSE. What are the problems of locating abroad? Well, language difficulties might make communication with workers difficult. It might put transport costs up if you need to ship goods back to the UK. If you get a case study on this, think about where's production taking place. Don't automatically assume that if production's moved abroad, like Dyson did with his vacuum cleaners moved to Malaysia, that they're automatically all getting shipped back to the UK. It might be that they're selling to a target market in that country where they're producing. It can give the business bad publicity because people have lost their jobs in the UK, which damages the business's reputation potentially. You've got to think about ethics if you're working in a low-wage economy like Bangladesh, where there's been all sorts of horrible things happen to workers in clothing factories. For example, there's been factory fires, buildings collapsing, and it's bad publicity talking about the ethics of the company, which we've already looked at before. How frustrating is it when you phone a call centre and the staff are abroad and they don't really understand what you're talking about? So it might be that quality of product or customer service are affected by being abroad, and then you might need to adapt your product or service for different markets. And it says e.g., but I don't think it actually carries on, does it? So my mistake on there. Can't get the quality products from the teachers these days, can you? But if you look at IKEA has had to modify its products, it's modified its stores, it's modified what customer service it offers for different countries. So obviously all of that can cost money. And on that note, I thought, just because it's the last one of these, really, I've got to give you a treat from this amazing big bird. Look at him. Say hello. How are you doing? He likes being on camera, don't you? A bit of a show-off, aren't you? He likes to make a lot of noise. Actually, really, I should have let you present all the business to notes, shouldn't I? Yeah. Do you think it would have helped them with their GCSEs? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think maybe not. Okay, right. We're all going to say, and Dave's here as well, bye for now, and good luck, everybody. I need a spare hand so I can pose on that. Now press stop.